Hey guys, Matt from the HMO platform again. Welcome to part 3 of our finance raising series with Tej from Tej Talks.
Greetings everyone.
So in this episode we're going to be talking about the information you need to put together into a proposal, into a pack to really kind of wow an investor and get them interested in what you're doing. So you've raised your profile, you've got them to like you, know you, trust you, but when you get that deal you need to package it in such a way that it really gets them over the line to invest into that particular project. So I just want to ask Tej, how did you put that information together? Do you have any key tips for people about this?
Sure. So the first thing is, a lot of people know me as Tej Talks. Yeah. And someone said to me, actually, a guy called Stuart Scott who's been on the podcast, he said, Tej, people know you as Tej Talks, but like, what else does Tej do? Does he buy houses? Does he? And I was like, I think people would know this, but they didn't. So I made Tej Invests, which is the same logo, but Tej Invests, and it's in blue. So what I did was I made a whole new website, which is my projects, about me, about investing with me, my deals. So I've made a kind of general deal pack, which is my website, purely for investors. That is the first thing. Depending on how your brand is set up, you want like a shop front, which is a website that is like, right, this is investing in me. Because if someone asks you a question, you can easily say, right, everything's on a website. So you've spent one chunk of time making one website that now when people ask me stuff, I say, it's all there, including all the deal packs. So then from that, we move into individual deal packs. What I have on here, so I designed them quite nicely. I use Canva, which is a beautiful app for designing things for free. I ensure I have a bit of information about the property. So this was secured via an estate agent. It fell through. We came in, picked up last minute. We got it cheap because we offered to complete in 2 weeks. Because sometimes when people see prices, they say, that's too cheap. But I can say, here's why it was cheap. Or I say, oh, there's knotweed, or there's this, or there's that. I then go through the location. So for people who are not from where I invest in South Wales, I say, here's the area, here's what it's near to. Some big cities like Cardiff, people know those places. It's got train links, it's got bus links. These are the kind of people who live here. Here's some street check data. Street check data can be really important because if an investor doesn't know the area, and maybe they're a new investor, everyone's got this anti-DSS thing or whatever, or I only want young professionals. With Street Check, you can kind of prove to them, here's what the area is like. I know it's like a 2011 census, but it's as accurate as you can get. I then have pictures of the property, as many as I can fit in, floor plans, if they have any. I then like to include a link to the full spreadsheet. It just kind of doesn't fit in there. So I send a link to a Google spreadsheet that's viewable, but you can't edit it. It's got everything. Purchase price, deposit requirements, stamp duty, costs, refurb, contingency, insurance, council tax, comparable end value, it's conservative. It's even got a breakdown of what each line of a refurb could cost. And then it's got a calculation that says money left in, rental amount, or flip profit. This is probably, apart from me as a person, the second most important thing. I don't know if anyone reads the stuff I said before, but I know they read the spreadsheet. And then after the spreadsheet, I'll have comparable data. So Rightmove, Zoopla sold comparables, saying, look, these are the most sort of equal properties I can find. This is how much they're worth. I'm gonna knock off 5K or whatever in my sort of area to say this is what the value is, because I'm being conservative to protect their investment. I'll also put the houses that are being sold, especially if it's a flip, just to say, look, sold is great, but the market can change so quickly. Here's what's actually selling. This is probably the third most important aspect, because my investors want to know, Tej, can you remortgage this at that amount? Can you sell it at that amount? Where's your confidence coming from? And it's coming from that. In addition to that, that's pretty much it, if I remember correctly. It's designed very well. It has everything an investor would need. I mean, there is a slide about, okay, here's the amounts you can invest, here's the security with it, here's potentially we'll send a loan agreement with this as well, just so they have a look at that. But yeah, the deal pack is pretty straightforward. It takes 20 minutes to make one, and so far it's been so good. People have really liked them. People have said they're presented differently. I would say it's similar to how a deal sourcer presents their deals.
Correct.
Because I'm looking for a similar thing. I want investment, they want the deal sold, but we still need to sort of show that the deal is good and worth it.
And that due diligence is the most important thing. Because obviously if you don't know your area, if you don't know your numbers on those sole comparables, then obviously you get into trouble. So I think everything you've said there is spot on. And we're going to put some examples of deal packs so you can link down below. But thank you for listening to that one. That's a bit of a summary from Tej about what he does in his deals. I'm going to share with what we do in our deal packs a little bit later on.